Hello and welcome to Not Beyond Cars and a first look at the Nissan Ariya, which is coming to Dublin and Ireland in mid-June, June-July. We'll have first production cars available. This is a pre-production car. It's the smaller battery. We're getting a very first look at it today, and then we'll take it around the track here in Mondello. We've got a very short 30-minute slot here. So there's two battery sizes. Let me give you some details about it. This is just fresh out of the oven in terms of detail. So the entry level Advance model, which I'm told has heaps of spec. Again, we haven't got into that just quite yet. After grants, €48,995, 63 kilowatt hour battery. Then the 87 kilowatt hour battery Evolve model is €66,995. That's a 529 kilometer range WLTP, and the smaller battery, which this car is 402 WLTP. That's kind of changing all the time. In fact, it was slightly less yesterday, and Nissan Ireland have told us they were actually able to get a bit more out of the range in the last 24 hours. So the car is going to be made in Japan, not Sunderland like the Qashqai. So that will mean production in a full operating year with normal volumes. Nissan are looking for €1,500 Arias in Ireland in a fully accommodating year. Production will be tight at the start, like so many cars, like so many electric cars. We got LED lights, we've got a little bit of airflow going on, massive big black, all the sensors in the front of the nose. This is the colour that every concept Ariya has had, and it's a nice colour in the flesh. It's kind of like a rose gold, sort of copper colour, and yeah, it's good looking. I like the daytime running lights, the way they look. It is quite a large car, but it sits fairly low. Then side on, I mean, it is quite similar in size to the ID4 from Volkswagen, for example. We've got black mirror housing, CCS charging is here with your two slots. CHAdeMO is not involved, in case you're watching this video with the Nissan Leaf in mind. We've got black high gloss down the sides, over the wheel arches. Wheels that this car is sitting on, again, this is a very first look. They're 20-inch alloys. I'm not going to give you a full vibe of what they're like on Irish roads, because here in Mondello the track is obviously perfect. A bit of a sloping roof going on, so it would lead me to believe there's not going to be an Ariya coupe. This is the Ariya. Yes, it has a bit of a sloping coupe vibe going on, and a nice big black roof spoiler. And then I'm getting Lexus vibes in here. Huge big daytime running light and red light, brake light, Nissan logo, electric boot release. Boot is really substantial. We haven't got exact figures today. I'll throw them onto the screen. You've got split partitions. You've got a floor that can be lowered yet again. Little bag for housing your Type 2 cable. Tie away your granny cables down here. Parcel shelf. A really usable boot. Far bigger to eyeball it anyway than something like the Qashqai. Waiting to confirm are things like an electronic boot is standard on both versions of spec. Doors open really wide, thinking of families and getting child seats in and all that stuff. In fairness, the new Qashqai is very accommodating in that area too. The leg room is pretty good actually. So driver's seat not quite all the way back, but I'm very comfortable. I'm sitting quite high up. I've got heated seats, I've got USB-C and standard USB charging. I've got air vents to keep me cool. There could be a little bit more thigh support on the back of the seats here. Very good quality leather using this car. Decent room for cups going on here. It's starting to bucket down rain. Yes, the glass roof will impede a little bit into your headspace. It is getting a little bit tight there, but you know, if you're sitting properly like this, then actually maybe it's quite okay. And I welcome a glass roof in any car just because it affords you so much light and good visibility all around the car. It's like a good use of space on the inside. And again, high quality Alcantara going on here, and backs of the seats have a bit of recycling vibes going on. Yeah, it's well put together. Totally flat floor, of course, as well. In the front, we've got a real sense of space again. You never feel like this is a small car by any stretch. Look at it on the outside, or certainly to sit in the front. This center console can be adjusted to your liking to give you more room in the back for passengers. or maybe just like things closer to you. There's really great storage, wireless charging. Seems to be a little, oh yeah, there's an extra, not quite sure what that's for, but that comes out. This is your little adjuster for your position, reverse, park, B mode as well. Same way you can use your e-pedal. Very sleek buttons here, just like very, very simple and kind of flush. It feels like a fancy hotel. Same with the climate control display. I love the way it's just buttons built into the actual architecture of the car. Armrest, it's just very, very sleek. Now there are haptic buttons, and if you're familiar with the Volkswagen ones, for example, you might be going, oh good, haptic buttons, but there's a bit more pushing in them. So they look like haptic buttons, but actually they are buttons. They're not just clicking as you press. We've got Park Pilot, Pro Pilot, I think Nissan call it. We've got good, decent displays, a heads-up display in this car. The rear view is digital. You can flip that and it just turns into a typical rear view mirror. Display is nice and wide, and graphics, and it does feel like a well put together car. We've got memory seats, we've got a Bose sound system, heated everything. Have we got a heated steering wheel? Handbrake is down here. Yeah, it's minimal enough for an electric car in the way a lot of electric cars are going, but I love that climate thing. That's very cool, I like that. And essentially, if you sat into the new generation Qashqai, a lot of the screens and displays are all quite similar. So a nicely put together car. The steering wheel is first of a kind. I haven't seen that in any other Nissan that's currently on sale right now. So we're sitting into a car that, again, is going to cost just under €50,000. I think we need to readjust what 50 grand in our heads would get in a normal ICE car, because you do have to sacrifice a bit of give in terms of overall quality. It's not to say it's poor quality, because I do like all this Alcantara and stuff, but in what used to get into an executive saloon at that kind of price and that interior, you're not quite getting that in any of the EVs. But yeah, it does in terms of Nissan build quality and materials used. This definitely feels like there's an upsell in the quality of the Ariya. So here we are. This is kind of exciting. We're in the Ariya, finally, after all the talk, and I think we're good. We're good to go, right? On a racetrack, no less. I do like that camera. I've seen it in stuff like the Honda E, of course. We've different modes. Okay, so drive mode. We'll go normal, will we, for the moment? Standard, okay. Standard is good. Oh, cones. Right. Just to test out the handling. Very good. Yeah, like that. Not sure. Does the lead car leave me after a while, or does it stick with me? It's also very reassuring. If this thing was to run at a range at a track, I can just park it and go. Not that I would, of course. Oh, there's more cones coming up, right. So these are literally, I've jumped into the car. As you're seeing this is me getting into the car. I'm reacting to its feeling of the steering is quite firm, quite heavy. Let's chuck it into a corner now and follow the line. Plenty of grip. It is obviously a heavy car. It's an electric car. Brakes are good, but it certainly seems to go into a corner and shift pretty well.
So I'm gonna head into pit lane now in a second. You're gonna do 3 laps, and then on your just starting your 4th lap, I'll pick you up again and lead you back in.
Okay, it's all mine then. Yeah. Right. Let's be having you.
You can interrupt the voice prompt and give a command immediately by pressing the push to talk button. Say phone, navigation, audio, information, vehicle information, or EV to see more commands for each category. Additional commands.
You're okay. You're okay. Woohoo!
Did you mean, okay, Brocky, please say yes or say a number from the displayed list.
Yeah, the brakes are good.
Please say-
I was at about 100 and...
Please say or select an
Shut
item.
up!
Please say or
Shut!
select.
Shut!
Cancel in voice recognition.
Thank you. So I was hitting about 130 kilometers an hour there. There's a lot of tire residue on this corner. Oh yes. No, the grip is very, very good because sometimes you do really feel that weight transfer in an EV. And like even last minute changes from different directions, it feels very composed. So I'm happy out there. Okay, next we're going to go into sport mode. So, sport. Let's see what that does. My bag is absolutely upended. Anyway, here we go again. 118, 123, 130. Brake, brake, brake. Brakes are very good. I tell you what, if you were to be in a very sudden needing to come to a stop on something like a motorway in this car, I'd feel very, very confident. Despite the weight of it, despite the height of it, that really handled that very, very late braking at about 130 kilometers an hour there very well. Same again here, 120, brake, brake, brake. It's excellent, absolutely excellent how quickly it'll stop. That's very, very impressive. And the thing is, I've been lucky to drive some really cool cars on this track in Mondella, but actually this kind of everyday normal stuff, not so much. So to actually put a car like this through its paces is very, very interesting. Again, brake, 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 motorway speeds. It just steers you right around like cones that have like the tiniest bit of a gap to fit a car through. And it's like, yeah, no problem. That's very interesting. Okay, now I'm going to calm everything down. We're going to flip into normal mode. I'm going to put it into E-pedal. And much like the Nissan Leaf, if you haven't experienced E-pedal before, basically you lift your foot off the accelerator, and as soon as you do, there's severe enough regen braking being applied to the car. And it makes it a very relaxing experience. Is this man about to tell me he's joining me or not? No, he's not yet. Okay. So, very relaxing experience. It means you're essentially driving the car with one pedal. So here are the cones yet again. I've taken my foot entirely off the accelerator and I just calmly, relaxingly steer through the cones without having to touch the brake. So I like that. It's nice to see that they've literally taken the E-pedal solution from the Leaf and put it into the Ariya. It works beautifully. Taxi drivers, if you're thinking of one of these cars, they have it there for you, because I know a lot of taxi drivers have embraced the Leaf from the first day. Handling wise, I really think they have done a great job at that. There's very little body roll. And I mean, I'm talking late braking into corners on a racetrack that you'll never drive a car like that in real life ever on the roads. And it's very, very composed. This is kind of the slowest I've driven the car around the track, 50 kilometers an hour. Everything's calm, everything's a bit more real life. Obviously a really, really smooth surface, so it's hard to comment on what these larger wheels will be like on Irish roads. I can feel like I've got air coolness going on into my seat here as well. I can feel that. Very direct steering, like very, very direct. I wonder if I lash it into sport mode one more time, would he let me go around again? E-pedal again. Yeah, higher speed, sort of 70 kilometers an hour. Was happy to let the speed bleed off there. Same here again. Actually saw somebody having to do this on the M50 last week when they hadn't properly checked someone who was merging, and I kind of wondered, was the car going to topple over? Because it was such a last minute swerve. And again, at those speeds, really changing direction last minute. Very, very little body roll. It is impressive. My Nissan Qashqai friend here has joined the track again, so I'll have to behave myself. Now, it's a pre-production vehicle, so I'm not getting full displays. It's saying it's currently doing 2.5 kilometers per kilowatt hour. It's been on a racetrack all day with loads of people driving it. Interestingly enough, so this is the smaller battery, which will do about 402 kilometers WLTP. It's got 25%. It's been on the road since 9 this morning. It's now 4 o'clock. It's got 60 kilometers left in the range. And all the guys here have been using is a 7.4 kilowatt charger just to keep the car topped up. There's been no fast charging going on with this car at all. So, you know, there has been a lot of that sustained motorway speed that you'd expect. Oh, Qashqai wants to play. Well, let's show him then. Sport mode. So you can have e-pedal mode on with sport mode. No problem. That's me, not the car squealing for those people from Nissan watching it, seeing if I'm trashing their car. I'd imagine I might need some tyres by the end of the day. That's the only thing.
So we'll just be heading back into pit lane now?
Well, that was fun while it lasted. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. So there we go. Very planted. Very solid. Very drivable. Very composed. And yeah, I think worth the wait. That's the law, and that's a fact. Just before we wrap up today, thanks to Nissan for giving us a look around the all-new Ariya. Again, it will be coming soon. You'll be able to test drive it in dealers very, very soon. Just the charging speeds on the car, so 130 kilowatt charging, which is fairly future-proof again compared to what you can do today. There's very few 130 kilowatt chargers in Ireland anyway. So you can get to on the larger battery from 10% to 80% in about 45 minutes. And 87 kilowatt hours to charge on a wall box, just by going from experience, that's going to be around 12, 13 hours. Towing weight braked is 1,500 kilos. As I mentioned, it's actually 14 hours for 7.4 kilowatt charging, 9 hours 30 minutes for 11 kilowatt, and 4:45 for 22 kilowatt, which aren't to be afraid of, in fairness, those chargers, once the car can charge at those kind of speeds. For charging on the more typical Irish current charging setup of 50 kilowatt, that will be about 85 minutes to get to full, and 100 kilowatt will be 45 minutes. So still not too bad, and you know, enough to get a bit of a blast into it. You're never going to charge the car fully to 100% at public charge. Just wouldn't be in your pocket's interest and your time's interest, and you'd be just getting too many dirty looks from people. So this is the Ariya, very exciting car from Nissan, very striking looking in this colour. I think it's going to do very, very well for them. Who's going to buy it exactly? Will Qashqai buyers stretch to it? I don't know. The entry level Qashqai is about 10 grand and a bit cheaper, so it is quite a jump for Qashqai owners. Will it be downsizers or down branders? I don't know, but you'll see more of these on the road very, very soon. Any comments or questions, please subscribe. Thank you for supporting us. There's ways to link us up on Patreon and PayPal with a tip. Any way you can support the channel, massively appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.